Hi there, I'm here at Sandy Station, about to start my first adventure for YouTube, and it should be a good one. Come with me. I'll give you an explanation as to what the plan is for the next couple of days, or for you at least the next 20 minutes or so. The plan is to start at Sandy Station where I am now, or where I've just left, and head east. Now I'm going to be doing this without any help from maps, GPS, or a compass. Literally just on the fly, eyeballing it from what knowledge I have, which to be honest isn't a great deal, and try to figure out if I can travel in as straight line as possible. However, it's not a traditional straight line mission. I won't be staying on the line the whole time. The objective is to just finish on the line. So essentially I'll be trying to figure out which way I'm going from all the means around me, the most obvious one being the sun. I have a feeling as well, now I'm going past one, that churches are built in a certain direction, so I'm assuming that that is definitely south and that is east, so I'm travelling in the right direction. That's pretty good, that's a good start. As you can see right now, I'm following the road. I'm hoping not to be on too many roads today. The plan is to try to stay on footpaths and get out into the fields and the woods and all the scenic routes. I'm not here just to plod along a road. Here I am in the lodge at Sandy. It is a beautiful spot. I have been here before, so my local knowledge I'm hoping will pay out here a little bit, as I'm pretty sure I can get through this down to the sort of south a little bit, but then there's hopefully a path that will take me eastward, as I've crossed that path before a few times, but I've never actually gone down it. So once I reach that point, my local knowledge will be spent and I'm going to be completely at the mercy of luck when it comes to these pathways. That's something I haven't seen before. That's, I guess, a couple of recliners for just chilling out and enjoying the natural space. I think that's a great idea. I'd have a go, but they're really wet with dew this morning. It's strange if people are walking by though. So onto the main track here. Just follow this down for a little while. And here we have the first little glitch of the day. What I thought was a track that I could go on is not, in fact, a track that I can follow. It's actually a private road. So I think I'm going to go with this one. The worst case scenario, it swings me back north and I end up back on the road that I came off to get into the reserve, and that won't have been a bad decision still, because I'd have rather walked through here and had a little detour than gone along that road anymore. My memory has already failed me. What do you do with that? There'll be quite a few of you watching this thinking, nah, that doesn't seem that hard. I'm sure I could do that. And that's exactly what I've been thinking when I've been watching other videos. Oh, I could do this, I could do that. And I certainly had this part of me that says, this should be easy, shouldn't be any problem at all. And there's also a part of me that says, this is not going to be at all doable, because in reality, it's all guesswork, and one bad guess, especially early on, could just cost me the whole thing. I made it to the gate here. Can't move and get out, as I'm sure I'm not supposed to be in here. Not so easy one-handed. Right. There we go. And back to the road. This is where a map would be really helpful. Normally I just crack the map out have a quick look, see where the nearest footpath or bridleway is. I have a real sneaky suspicion there might be a bridleway up there to the north, just through how it looks really. Worst case scenario, I'm going to have to backtrack and head towards Potton, but I'm pretty sure south here is a bad idea. I was just starting to wonder if this was going to come to a dead end, but I've been very lucky. There is indeed a public bridleway here. Now, there are plenty of differences between a footpath and a bridleway. There's one particular difference that is pertinent to what I'm doing today. Where footpaths sometimes go somewhere and other times just circle around on themselves, as a general rule, a bridleway is going to lead you somewhere. And that is very useful because I know that this isn't just going to circle back around and bring me back to the same point where I found it. It's actually going to take me in a straight line somewhere. Well, it's still really beautiful out here, and there is some good news. As I've been walking up this, I've been into a slightly higher elevation, and behind me is the wind turbine, if you can make it out in the distance. The directions of the blade on that make me think that I am indeed due east of that turbine, so I'm pretty confident I'm on my line right now. Oh well, found a little spot here. I think this is going to be perfect for lunch. It's a properly nice little spot. Someone's gone to the trouble of putting this here. I don't know if this is for a bus stop or what, but it's out here, I guess. Woohoo! Well, that was a lovely place to stop for lunch. Heading into a little village now. So as I'm coming down from the higher elevations behind me, I'm just losing all of my reference points, all of my landmarks that I was using to keep my easterly trajectory. And yeah, it's going to start being a lot of guesswork from here unless I can get some new ones. But in reality, there's a lot of trees about at the moment, and so I can't really see anything very distance-wise in front of me. There's just nothing to see other than trees and buildings and stuff like that. Hopefully soon I'll get something, but for now, the sun is pretty much my only reference as to what direction I'm travelling in. I think, as a whole, travelling eastward is not too difficult. It's trying to work out how far from the line I am, because I don't really have a good idea of exactly where my line is. It could be to my left or to my right, or I could be straight on it. I don't really know, and I think that's going to be the hard part for today, is narrowing down at the end where I'm happy to stop and say this is where I think the line is. To be clear, I have not prepped for this at all. I've not looked at the map and sort of had a look around to see what I'm going to be walking past. Are there any routes? I have no idea what's ahead of me. I was a little familiar with the terrain near the beginning. I had done some walks over that area, but here I've never been before. This is all virgin territory for me. Not only do I need to stay on my line, I'm going to need to find a water source somewhere near the end of the day, because I only have enough water for today just to drink basically. I'm going to need to replenish that ready for tomorrow, plus have some water to cook with this evening. So not only do I need to finish on the line, but I need to find a place where I want to camp that is on the line. Well, this is what I'm out here for. It's absolutely gorgeous. Footpaths that are not signed. I have no idea where I'm supposed to be going now. There's a track that kind of, I think, crosses the footpath. I guess I just follow this track then. Yeah, they could really do with signposting these things a bit better. I'm sure they'll be annoyed if I'm somewhere where I'm not supposed to be, but I'm going to be honest, I don't know where I'm supposed to be. And I don't suppose everyone's following a OS map or the limited information that Google have on theirs about footpaths, so I'm probably not the only person in this boat. Jeez. I'm guessing that wasn't a footpath after all. I've just made it through this farmyard. I hear someone. You can hear someone in there. But yeah, made it through to this road. Thinking that's northeast and this is southeast. But I feel like I've ended up a bit further north than I should be now. So I want to follow the road, I think, for a little while and see where that leads me. But yeah, I am completely lost right now. I don't know where I am in relation to my line, and I don't know where I am on a map either. That is a weird feeling, not knowing where I am at all. That is new. Awesome. Looks like the footpath I've been needing has finally turned up. It goes in the right direction. It doesn't look too shabby. Be a lovely spot if that ditch had water in it. Yeah, I think it would be as close to the line as I feel like I can make myself. Hopefully I can find somewhere. This would be lovely though. This is quite out of the way. I do think people come through here from time to time, but I'm far enough away from everything, I think, that I'd get away with it. I think. Do I hear water? Ah, that's not the best water in the world. That's obviously drainage from the fields. Could use that. It's a good spot. Where do I go from here? Yeah, it's some distance to go. Well, it's 4:30. That's pretty good timing. I've got, I'd say, an hour's worth of light left. Come back to the spot. I think just in the tree bit here is pretty good. Got my carrier. I'm gonna try and get to this water then. I've just followed it down a little way, so just from there obviously comes underneath and comes out just down here. Right, now to try and get some water. I hope my line's long enough. I've probably got some longer ones in my bag with my tent, but I've just grabbed the one that I could get hold of the easiest for now, and I'm just going to give it a crack, climb down about halfway and dangle it in, and hopefully not fall in with it. Well, we'll call that a success. That is nicely filled. Fantastic. Time to set up my tent. All right, time to set up. Just clear the ground a little bit. Mostly so I can just cover it up. I'm done. Because as all us responsible ones know, leave it how you found it, or leave no trace, however you want to say it. It's been a long day walking. If anything, one of the issues with this is it's a little bit big for this pot, so that flame's going to come right around the side of that and be a little bit of wasted heat. But there you go. I'll pull that off. Look at that. It's not a rocket stove, but it's still a good stove. I've no idea if you can see me on there now. The light has basically faded now. It's not quite full night time yet, but it's faded. But the rice is all but done. So I'm just prepping up some other bits and pieces ready. Well, that's a lot of rice. That's far more rice than I needed. Whoopsie. Oh dear. I've been lucky with that rain, but I think my luck's about to run out. All right, well, I'm going to stop the recording there, I think, and carry on cooking this without worrying about the distraction. Good morning. And a lovely one it is. Nice and sunny. Oh, looks like it's going to be a good day. I'm definitely going to need to take a couple of different paths today. Maybe a lot, because right near the start of today, I'm going to have to take a different route. I was pretty sure I wasn't on a footpath at a certain point, and that sort of was proven to be true as I was coming through a farmyard, and I don't fancy walking through the farmyard and trying to sneak my way past. There was definitely some activity there yesterday, so I think I'm going to have to try to take a different route at that point, which means from there I'll probably be on different routes until hopefully I can connect with the bridleways and stuff that I was using at the first half of yesterday, and at that point it should be pretty easy going. It's time to get myself up out of the tent and get some breakfast, warm myself up a little bit, and get ready for the day and get packed down. All right, ready to go. Campsite is clear. Quick double check. I've got everything. Looks exactly how it did when I turned up. Excellent. So, straight on. Great news. I've just spotted something I recognise. This new build project here. I walked past that yesterday. I came in on this track, this bridleway, and I think it was not long after that that I decided to take a footpath to the right, and it's that footpath that I lost track of where on earth I was supposed to be going, and I sort of cut across the field and came out at that other farm. So I've managed to do a pretty swift route through there. Well, the rain's coming in. It's starting to really bring it down now. The visibility has dropped quite a lot as well. Well, I've made it to the shelter. I'd say this is probably the halfway point, and I've done that in pretty good time. I think I've saved a little bit of time off of the route I took, but I've also just really marched that. There's nothing like a bit of rain and wind to make you go a bit faster. I'm going to break here for lunch because it's not going to get any better than this for lunch. Well, it's all but stopped raining. The sun is trying to get through the cloud up there, so I think it's time to get going. Yeah, the sun is trying to break through. I really hope it does, because I've had enough of the rain. Well, I'm slightly lost now. Well, I might as well go this way. Now I've got two sides of this field to walk either way I do it. I'm loath to walk back up that same bit there. So I'll walk along here. And if I'm lucky, maybe there's a break in the hedge and I can get through, and I've just saved myself a little bit of walking along the road. There is a gap over to the road. However, as you can probably see down there, it's not a very pleasant ditch. I don't want to end up in the bottom of that. I don't really need a wet foot. The footage on this is going to be bloody hilarious, because I don't have a cameraman here, so I'm just going to have to make do. So the key here is to try to jump and grab the other side. So I'm going to have to do it one-handed thereabouts. I'm trying not to get caught up on all the bloody brambles. Should be fine. Oh, yes. Oh. Oh. Well, that saved me a bit of effort. Right, quick sit rep before getting any more traffic. So I found a place to sit for a little bit and put my rubbish from lunch. I am a bit lost right now. I don't recognise any of this, and the road signs don't make sense to me that much either. Okay, I think I'm in Potton. There's a sign here for town centre. In a church back there said that it was St Mary's Church, Potton. So if I'm not in Potton, I'm very close to Potton, but I think I'm in Potton. I just don't remember seeing any of this, so maybe I've arrived at a different point. I wasn't too worried yesterday about an exactly direct route. It was about trying to get off the road as well, whereas at the moment I think walking by the road or even along the road is probably an easy price to pay for the shortest, most direct route possible. Yeah, I can see the little wind turbine in front of me. I think what I'm going to do is follow this to the nature reserve and just try to hug the road but without being on the road. I couldn't ask for a better finish to the day, really. It's been not as challenging as I thought it might be, but of course I may be well off as well with my idea about how close I was to the line when I finished, but I'm pretty comfortable. I've done a fair showing, but as I say, I've had quite a lot of help with landmarks this time. Yeah, looking forward to doing some more trips like this. I definitely want to revisit this, but in a territory where I've got no local knowledge at all. Made it to the nature reserve without much fuss. Fair bit of traffic on that road. It wasn't the nicest bit of walk, but it's out of the way now. Now I can just make my way through the nature reserve. It's definitely been a good trip. This is a nice way to finish it, just walk along these paths in the nature reserve. And this is definitely a nicer place to wrap things up than Sandy train station. So I'll be leaving you guys here, as getting to the train station is pretty much just a formality at this point. And the finish point of yesterday was far more important than the finish point today, as today's finish point was always going to be the station, unless of course things went really wrong. But yeah, I've got high hopes for the route I took and my finish point. I'll obviously review that and I'll see you guys soon. So over to future me. Me again. It's been a few days. It's time to review how I did. And the only way to do that is to have a look at the map. All we need to do is draw a line from Sandy Station to the east, and we have an idea of what it was I was trying to do and the line I was trying to follow. I'll overlay the first day's route onto that, and we can see I was pretty close to the line for a lot of the way, and my finish point just here was tight to the line but not on it, but I'm very, very happy with that. I mean, that was a pretty good result. There are a couple of points on the route worth mentioning. The first one is the shelter, where I had lunch both days and was really critical on that second day. The next one is this region here, where I managed to lose the footpath entirely and found myself having to go through this farm to get back to the road. If we take a look at the second day, we can see I was much tighter on the line for that second half, but obviously that was easier because I'd already been there. But if we compare the 2 days, we can see there's two major points of deviation that I should mention. The first one is this point just here, where I tried to avoid going through that farm and on the paths where I shouldn't have been. The second point was this area just here, where I completely lost track of where I was, and I ended up in a random field somewhere, and I had to be jumping ditches just to get back onto the road. That being said, of course, the main thing we really want to know is how close did I finish to that line at the end? And there's only really one way to know that for sure. If we take a look back at the map and grab the coordinates where I started and the coordinates where I finished, we can compare the two to figure out how far to the north of that line I really was. We can get rid of the longitude, so that's not needed. We just need the latitudes. If we can calculate the distance between those 2 points, it tells me the distance from the line I finished, which was a grand total of 969 metres. So under a kilometre is an absolute result, and I'm over the moon. Obviously, that leaves room for improvement. I mean, there are going to be future missions. We're going to call these the Wonky Line missions. They're not quite straight line missions, but they kind of are. But they're definitely more wonky than that. So Wonky Line missions it is. And I'm hoping that you'll join me for some more in the future. I've definitely got more planned, and hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll be uploading another one. It's be a little bit longer, hoping to go for 2 days in the same direction, which will sort of test me even more. And yeah, just like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one. It's a pretty good take.